Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are making a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. I'm gonna get the Jimmy Cam set up a little better. And I think today is gonna be trying to find some of the bugs in our in our pushing system. So we can push this pushable boulder all the way to the left here and have it not go off screen, which is correct. We don't want to be able to push things off screen because we can't see where they go, and then they might block, where you're walking. So that's correct. It's just that when we go, when we push it down, it crashes for some reason. So if we try to push it all the way down, let's see, that's fine, right? And it's fine over here. And if we go all the way to the right, we don't crash going to the right, which is correct. But if we try to push it downwards, we get a crash here on a pushable 36. So let's take a look and try to find this, because the crash is trying to index a row and column outside of our given tiles. Now our tiles is... Oh, and you know what? We might have to do... No, I think this is okay. Yeah, because I think if we look at our dot tiles in our map class when we make it... Let's see. Dot tiles. Yeah, we have... for a height amount of times, do a width amount of things, and the thing is assign the count into the row and column of map. Okay, and that map is what we're trying to, in our, on our pushable line 136 or whatever it was, just 36. Is our current map.tiles. Okay, so it's in the map object, not in the global map. So let's try to find, like right here, we have, for a map width amount of things, do a map height amount of things, and is just assign the tile ID from our row and column. And it's actually, it should be, since this is the height, yeah, that's the row, and J is the column, so I is row, so it should be tiles at row column. So that looks right. So we're still crashing here. So let's see when we call the legal push method, if maybe we're incrementing the row or something when it shouldn't be. Oh, look at this. We left us a little note. Crashes sometimes. Okay. If it's greater than 8, since it starts, it's a total of 8 tiles tall. So we're saying if row is greater than 8, I think it might be greater than or equal to 8. But that might just pause us before the stone goes off screen. Let's test it. See, yeah, it stops us right there at a height of a row 7. So where are we? This is like where we define the legal push function, but where are we actually invoking it? We do it right here in the walk state for the player. Okay, so there might be something here where we're taking, we're pushing down in this case, it's a down collision, right? So we have a bottom collides, and we have right here where we say, take the current tile Y and add 1 to it, which if the current tile Y is 8, which means the boulder's on the very bottom, when we try to run the legal push, it's going to say, give it that 8 as the tile Y plus 1, which is 9, and that's why we're getting the minus, or the nil value index right there. But I guess what doesn't make sense to me is that left worked when we did left, even though left would have been a tile X of 1, and then we minus a 1, so we call legal push with a first parameter of 0, and it doesn't crash. So how do we call it on a row or a column of 0 and not crash? Well, this maybe could be a little prettier, right? So we're kind of saying maybe we should just like kind of block these out and say, well, if our row is an invalid row, we're going to go ahead, you know, if we call this legal push function with anything smaller than a 1 or bigger than an 8 for the row, maybe we switched this up because the column, yeah, we did switch this up. I think this is 10 and this is 8. No, we did get that wrong. Shoot. So now we shouldn't be able to push all the way to the right. Okay, yeah. But does it crash going down? Yeah, it should crash because we're only breaking out of that legal push function if it's greater than a 10, which we can't be greater than a 10 because there's only 8 tiles high. Okay. So let's swap those back. I feel like I'm getting a little turned around right here because we say row and call. Do we have to swap? Let's swap our legal push parameters to be row and call. And then we'll make sure when we invoke it that we're giving it the proper order. So tile X is the column. So we need to swap these around. So we'll put our tile Y and then this tile X minus 1. Okay. So we just swap all of these just because, and it's a little counterintuitive to me because it's like the X is actually the column. You know what? No, that does make perfect sense because the X is the column and the Y is the row. So we'll put in our row first, which is a tile Y actually. Row and column. No, we screwed this up again. Row. Yeah, tile Y. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why my brain's a little confused on that, but that should be right. And then we'll just swap this. So if we top collide with an object, we're going to check the Y tile that's above us, a -1. Now we could, if it still breaks at this point, we can maybe break out of this if condition. No, I guess we can only break out of a loop, so maybe we return. I don't know. We'll see. I think we have one more legal push to swap around. Okay. Cool. Let's try this. I don't think swapping the parameters shouldn't change anything in far as the execution goes, but maybe we just screwed something simple up. Nope. Okay, so we're still crashing there. And that would be a bottom collides with a map object. If our push timer is greater than the threshold, we're going to go ahead and legal push a push down. So when we go and call this method in the condition, I think we're breaking, because if we, let's just see if we return without actually doing a push down, if it does anything. That is not what I thought would happen. Why would, okay, maybe this wasn't working like I thought. I don't think we can break. Yeah, I don't think we can break in an if. So if we just comment this out, we would still crash, right? We can't push it down. That was weird. Okay. So why is it just messed up on the push down? Legal push takes in an X and a Y index of the square that we're trying to see if it's legal to push. And it's saying that we have a parameter that is nil. So that means our tile Y plus 1 comes back as a nil value, which is strange. Well, it's actually our tiles at row column comes back as nil. So maybe oh, you know what? Yeah, why don't we just return false before we actually pull the tile? I think that should actually fix it. Because we don't pull the tile if it's out of zone. That should work. Okay. Cool. So we fixed that bug. Now let's see. Yeah, let's say we'll get rid of that. Let's maybe try. Let's look at when we put on our tunic. If our pushing animation's looking correct. It's looking okay. Oh. Oh, it's still jacked up here. See, it's fine there. Huh. Okay. It wasn't consistently wrong. It was inconsistently wrong. Oh, see, like that. Why? What the heck? What was that? It detected a push up. Okay. It detected a push up because it detected a collision between our character here. So look at this. If we go... Shit. I actually don't know why it detected that push up. That was really weird. See, look at that. That's why it got stuck. Is because it thought we were pushing up. Okay, let's print up. Let's print up where we're pushing up as a debug value on screen. Let's see. Push up. Oh, I'll get the Jimmy cam. Okay, so we want to print up the value of the players pushing. You know what? I don't think we even have... What's weird is what was happening was we were pushing up even though we were holding the right input. So how did push up get initiated on the pushable even though up wasn't being held? Well, push up initiated must have gotten pulled to true, so that means we must have ran the push up function. So let's look at our push up method invocation and see when we did it. We did it here. If we collide with the top... Okay, so it's checking multiple collisions, right? So it's saying, and look at this, our top collide with the map object function is before our bottom collides. Well, and we were, yeah, so like we were holding right. yet it thought we were top colliding. So I guess it comes down to the top collide map object function in our player. Top collision. Collision map object. Okay, it must be in our entity class. Okay. Yeah, see, this is nasty. I don't like all these numbers in here. This top collides is returning. It thinks we're top colliding with a map object, but also. Okay, so how to fix this? We might have to manually check input as well, but that sucks because we have multiple inputs. So. It has to be thinking there's a push-up initiated because that's why it pushed it up. So maybe we don't, we can either check. Yeah, maybe in here we only do any of this stuff if right is actually down. And by down I mean held down. But then we need it for, shoot man, we need it for the touch screen too. So it'd be better to do it with the output list than the touch output list, really. But is there a different way? Is there a different way of doing this than here in the push initiated? Because once, we don't want to push, we don't want to trigger the initiated unless we have the corresponding value being held. So we could do this and we can say, for key value in pairs of our output list, if the value is equal to up, then we want to become push initiated true. So only initiate it if we have a value equaling up in our output list. That should fix the issue from it going up here. Okay, it looks like it did fix that. Okay, and then it does allow us to do that. So we'd also have to say, we'd also have to do it for our touch output list. I don't like this that much. I don't like this that much. It is a little cleaner than it could be with the weird other stuff, but I don't like that we'd have to do this. I don't know. That should fix it though. That was a bug we didn't know existed, so at least we caught that. Because, pushing it up randomly like that is not good. So we need to also do this for every direction. So for our down, we would say push down initiated, and only if the value in here is equal to down. And then also for push left. So okay. See, I don't like this. I really think I probably should have done a mutual output list. Like it holds all the touch outputs and the keyboard outputs. Yo, what up, K-Tron? How's it going, dude? I think if I were to do this game again, I would do that. I would kind of, I don't know what to call it, but simplify all of the conflicting inputs for a touch device as well as a keyboard, because I'm getting really sick of having to make it work for keyboard and then also have to go back and make it work for touch. So I think ideally we'd condense all of the keyboard inputs into one output list and all the touch inputs into one touch output list, and then just do it based on the global output list. I'm kind of deciding whether or not that'd be a good idea to just go. Like, the tricky thing is, if we go and fix it now, it'll make future development easier, but it would be a lot of refactoring. Yo, where did Jimmy go? Oh, Jimmy. I didn't even get him on. I can't really see Jimmy that well. I think it's because of the light. Yo, I've been okay, K-Tron. It's been... Dude, I've got this pimple on my head. I don't know if you can see it. But it is gnarly. So I've got to go into work tomorrow and like pretend like this isn't... Like I'm not growing a second head on my head. I think I screwed this up. Yeah, we didn't have... Oh, we gotta add right to this. Dude, it's so bad. I can't believe how bad it is. I'm hoping it'll like crust up and die tomorrow. I think it's got another couple days of life in it though, for sure. I think I'm going to be permanently scarred there. It's just such a big honk. I don't get... What the heck happened there? Okay, that's another thing, is we got to reset our pushables back to their original location. Yeah, you know, I usually don't have many, if any. But yeah, this is bad. It was, yeah, I mean, if, like, I was scrolling back on the VODs and it's been over a week of it growing and dude, it's bigger than an M&M. Like, it's bad. Okay. Yeah, part of me thinks we should probably rehandle and refactor all of our touch and keyboard inputs, because as development progresses, it's only going to get, you know, it's going to be a continuous problem. And then look at that, we get the pushing animation. So why do we think we're pushing? We need to become pushing false if we're not actively colliding with a collidable pushable. What? I thought for sure we had a pushing. Dude, that's what I've been saying. We've been quoting that all day. It's like, nice to meet your mole. Mole. Guacamole. Mola. Dude. Oh, it's bad. Dude, it's at least as big as that guy's mole. It's at least. Okay. Okay, I could have sworn we had a pushing field for our player. We do, and it's called player pushing. But okay, we set our player pushing to false. Okay, so let me print up if we're pushing or not. Dude, it popped last night when I was talking, and I just felt it. It felt like my forehead was crying. It was disgusting. It was so bad. I think a lot of the pus has gotten out. It's just like all the crusty leftover layer of skin, the top layer of skin. So I think once that crusty layer is done, I think most of the healing is done. Well, I don't know. I think there's going to be a scar there. It's so crazy. Okay, in our walk state, we set our player pushing to false. Okay, so I'm curious if this is actually going to be false. So let's print it up. I really need to remember where we put all of our debugging because I always forget. And we need it quite often, so like, god damn it. No way. Give me a break. It's got to be in our play state, right? No. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay, so if 5 is held, yeah, let's get our player pushing Boolean rendering here. Because I think if our player is rendering the wrong thing, I think it's because it thinks we're pushing and we're not. Oh, dude, I know. Yeah, I'm okay with it. Like, it is what it is, right? Like, I'm not going to pretend like I don't have a big old mole on my face. Yeah, Magnetonics pointed it out yesterday, and I was like, I know. I'm aware. Okay, and of course I can't get it to break when I'm trying to debug it, right? Because I don't see the issue anymore. It's so bad. I've got work tomorrow, so I'm like, I don't know. It's like, I mean, people are like polite enough where like they're not gonna like say anything about it, you know, really. They're I can see people's eyes. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. Shit, it just fixed itself. I can see people's eyes like look up at it, and it's like I know, like my eyes are down here, but I get it. Like, I don't blame you. Gosh, I can't reliably get it. Oh, no. Wow. No, I can't do it. If I do, like, nah, I can't do it. He didn't give me crap. It was just like a, you know, like acknowledgement, like, oh man, that's bad. Which it is. It is. He's right. It's awful. Okay. You know what? There's like a weird thing. If I like prematurely turn up when I'm pushing, it thinks I'm in a push up animation, which I technically should be, but only if the, gosh, yeah, it's like the layering of the skins is just a little non-optimal. I can't get this even to reliably mess up though, so that's a little annoying. There, I saw it for a little bit. There it is. Shoot. Okay. Why? Oh, it only comes up. It only comes up here when we put pushing. Oh my gosh. So yeah, it thinks I'm pushing right now. It thinks I'm pushing. I messed up and put the same push timer right there, but it did say pushing was true over there. It was kind of weird because we weren't technically colliding. Yeah, like right here. Pushing true, even though we're clearly not pushing. So why is that? If we go to our dot pushing when we assign it, we flush it false right away. So in our walk state, oh, you know what? That's because we're in the idle state. So in our idle state, let's just set, we do a knit to false, but maybe we need to also update to be false. Let's see. Okay, pushing false. Oh. See, and then... See, this is what's wrong. It thinks we're pushing, even though I'm only hitting left and right. It thinks we're pushing, but we're not pushing into a collidable. So we must be detecting a collision. I don't know what collision we'd be detecting, but one of our boxes is colliding here because it thinks we're pushing. So when we go and go from a pushing to a non-pushing in the walk state, we are becoming pushing if we collide with any object, any map object. And you know what? It's not any map object. It's any pushable object. So I feel like one of these collisions is a little off, and it has to be... I don't know. I kind of want to see if we comment out the bottom collides, if it would still do that. Just trying to kind of like whittle down which of the four is causing that issue. Yeah, see, look, we don't have... It doesn't say we're pushing anymore. So it looks like our bottom collides is 1 pixel. Oh gosh, why is that one so jacked? Okay, I think I know. Okay, so it looks like our bottom collides is triggering 1 pixel too high than it should be. So if we take a look at that method, and that method is in our entity class, it's a bottom collides map object. Bottom collides map object. Okay. So on the Y, we're checking if the entity would be ourself. So we're checking to see if the bottom of us minus 2. See, that's not right. If the bottom of us and 2 pixels higher is greater than the top, it's actually going to be the bottom. Okay. So bottom collides with map object, takes in a target. So entity is the self, and target is the target. So if we're checking for a bottom collision on our entity, we're checking y plus the height minus 2. We're shifting up the bottom of the hitbox for some reason, and we're seeing if that bottom of our self is greater than the target y plus the target height. That doesn't sound right. But we're also... Okay, so what is confusing too is this collides is returning the opposite value. So if we're in... Yeah, return not, whatever this is. So what we're asking is if we are not colliding. So we know we're not colliding if our bottom of our entity is greater than... See, this is just wrong. Or, yeah, see, this is definitely wrong. Okay, let me try to write it again. Because if we look at our top collides, we're checking if the top of us plus a 6 pixel buffer for that faux 3D overlay, we're checking if the top of us is greater than the bottom. So this would have to be, if we're checking the bottom, we need to check the top of our hitbox, or the top of our, yeah, the top of our hitbox. What's not a collision? The bottom of us would have to be... Because when we think about this, it's not the true AABB collision. It's like we have like a segmented, if there's a rectangle, the sliver on top is the top collides, the sliver on bottom is the bottom collides. So we're doing AABB collision of a little rectangle on the bottom. So if we know if the bottom of our entity is smaller than the top of our target, that's definitely not a bottom collides. Yeah, that's jacked up. Let's look at the top collides, because if we keep the top in mind, that 6 pixel buffer is 6 pixels from the top. That should be the top of our bounding box that we're checking, and we're checking if the top of that is bigger than the bottom of the target. Yeah, top box is bigger than the bottom of the target, and the bottom of that box, which is, yeah, 8 pixels higher, would have to be smaller than the top of the target. Okay, that makes sense. So bottom collides with a map object would be, let's see if the top would be the top of the box, which is going to be a height -2. Yeah, because the difference between 6 and 8 here is a 2 pixel difference for that. So the actual bounding box is a height of 2. So that's where the 2 comes in. And we're seeing if the top of that box would have to be greater than, shoot, man. Yeah, greater than the bottom of the height, or the bottom of us would have to be smaller than the bottom of the height -2. So I think we need a plus target height -2 here. Maybe. That just gets so messy. Let's see. Oh, lordy. See, that's jacked up. Yeah, okay. Well, that's wrong. The not is really confusing me here. Return not. So we're checking if the left side of us is greater than the right side of the target. Yeah. And then the right side of us is smaller than the left side of the target. Okay. Then we're checking if the top side of our bottom bounding box, that's the confusing part. The top side of our bottom bounding box, which is 2 above the very bottom of our character, we're checking if the bottom of that is greater than the bottom of the target, or if the bottom of our bounding box is smaller than our target. Okay, that does look right then. Yeah, bottom of our bounding box would be smaller than the top of the target. Yeah. So why does it think we're bottom colliding when we're just sitting above a pushable object? Because if we're here, yeah, it thinks we're pushing in a walk state. That means it thinks we're colliding. And we toggled that off. We toggled off the bottom collision, and it stopped turning true there. So we know that it's detecting a bottom collision here. So either the pushable's X is actually higher than its rendering, or Yeah, see, because that's fine. But then when we get this close, we might not be moving our player. Shoot, it looks right to me. Yeah, because we should be sitting just on top, but that should not count as a collision. Okay. Jimmy keeps moving. Okay, this is looking right. I guess let's try to further confirm that bottom collides is in fact executing as true. So I guess we can do a map object as a target, so we can go into the scene views current map.pushables index 1, and that'll be the target we pass into the entity bottom collides map object. So let's do that in our player state, play state, and let's try to put it here. And we're going to print up whether or not we bottom collide. And we're going to take the scene views current map. No. We're going to run it on an entity, so it's going to be our global player. And we're going to say if the player bottom collides map object, and the map object is going to be the map at the current, oh my god. Damn it. It gets so messy. I think it's, yeah, where is the pushables? Pushables is in the map object, right? Map, row, and column pushables. So it's going to be our map, our current map, row, column pushables. So let's try that in our play state. So yeah, this is weird, like the shit. Yeah, we want to go map, and then this is going to be the current map. So the scene views dot current map. This is nuts. Scene views current map dot row. And then scene view current map call. It might be column. Can't remember how I worded it. And then into the pushables table. This is nuts. Index 1. That is the pushable we're checking our collision with. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Nope. 420 F6. We missed a closing paren, I think. Okay. I don't see our... Oh, bottom collide false. Okay, it's up there at the very top. Oh, see, look it is bottom colliding. What the heck? Bottom collide true. Yo, that is just wrong. But look, and then, yeah, okay. Let's check every collision and see if just the bottom is wrong or if everything is wrong. Because the thing is, we gave it like... I think there's two things that could be kind of happening here, and I think it's like we have like a 2-pixel buffer on the side of our player for a collision detection, and that's because his sprite doesn't have his nose all the way to the edge of the pixel when he's in idle. So we shrunk it by 2 to like, you know, not prematurely collide with something on a left or right. So we kind of shrunk it inwards. And I think if we shrink the collision inwards on the x-axis, I don't know if we're shrinking... Well, like when we go to check the pushables, it would have to be incorporating that. So let's just check if the top collides seems like it's working. So even though this will say bottom collides, this is top collides. Yeah, see, it thinks it's true. Okay, so maybe what the move is, because I would bet when we collide with this, if we collide right, I bet we would still be right colliding. Yeah, right collide is true as well. Okay, so I think this is actually going to be an easy fix, because I think what we have to do is just go into our entities collide logic, which will be in entity. Yes. Well, okay, so it's when we use this. So when we're running the actual, let's say, right collides map object. Come on, dude. Right collides map object. Here. Okay, so when we... I think this is where it's wrong. Because we collide and then we reset our position, and we're resetting our position to be... What is this AABB side collision buffer? Should be 2. It's only 1. Yeah, it should be 2. We have a 2-pixel collision buffer there. And then the top collision, yeah, should be 6, I think. But look, if we bottom collide, then we set our player's Y to be the top of the object minus the height. Yeah, bottom collide should be fine. Bottom collide should not be incorrect still. So this is actually, yeah, it still thinks we're right colliding. So if we right collide, we're moving our player's X to be equal to the object's X, yeah, shifted by our player width, not plus AABB collision, just to the left. Or, yeah, just to the right. And then if we left collide, we move our player to... Yeah, not this. Yeah, we don't want to shift it. Ay. No, I think that'll be wrong. Let's see. It still thinks we're left colliding. What the flip? Because, yeah, it does look like we're... It does look like we need to shift over. I feel like we're missing something. Okay, so let's look at our collision in our player class. No, it's in our entity class. It's in our walk state. I don't know. Yeah, left collides. Okay. Where do we define this? Up here? Gosh, where do we define it? In the player? No. It's in the entity class. Okay. So yeah, it looks like if we right collide, checking if we collide with the target, it's a 3 pixel adjustment on the left. See, I think that's incorrect. Why is it so jacked up? Because our left collide, we're checking if 1 pixel on the left. See, that's that. Oh crap, man. These numbers are kind of starting to make sense to me now, and I hate that it's so different, but I'm kind of getting it. Because, like, I hate that it's that, you know, we're talking about left and right collision, and this one has an x plus 1, and this one has an x plus width minus 3. It's just weird that it's like that, right? But when you think about it, this should actually, I think this should be 2. And this should be minus 4. And the minus 4 comes from the 2 pixels. Actually, no, this should be minus 2 as well. Because the right side of our collision should be minus 2. 2 pixels from the right side of our player. Or the left side of our right collision hitbox, which would be minus 1. This is so jacked up, dude. Yeah, so the right side, actually, yeah, the left side would be greater than the right. And the right side, this should just be, oh god, dude. Yeah, I don't like how I did this. I should have made like a diagram of like exactly what our bounding boxes sizes were, because here the left side of our box is 2 pixels from the right side of our object. Yeah, so 2 pixels in. But then the right side of our box is 1 pixel in, so we only have like a 1 pixel width worth of checking for that, which I don't think is right. But let's see if we fix the right collides problem, and let's maybe start there. No, it still thinks we're right colliding. Because look at where it set us. We still are right colliding. We can see a piece of our arm still there. So I think it's here when we're saying we right collide. So let's put our x to be the object's x minus our player width. And you know what? I think, see, plus a, yeah, it should be minus a side collision buffer. That is so wrong. This is so jacked up. I just put like a minus 4 and it's just not even moving it. This is weird. I can't even move this. This is doing nothing here. I don't know why. Self.playerx. And this isn't our scene. This isn't pushables. That's why. This isn't pushables. This is just map collision. Yeah, this isn't pushables. So let's see if we screwed up all of this stuff. That looks okay. It's still not putting us in the right spot. Okay, so maybe the AABB side collision is correct at 1. This is very confusing. But that's not for pushables, that's for collidable map objects, which, yes. Okay, so that looks right for that. That looks right. Okay, that looks right for all of those. Okay, so we're looking for... Gosh, yeah, why are we still detecting the collision, man? Where are we rendering? Where are we cycling through the pushables? And checking the collision. Okay, here's where we're doing it. Hey, thanks for stopping in, K-Tron. Always nice seeing you, man. Hope you have a good night. Yeah. Take care. Okay, so this might be where it is. We're setting our location here, so let's just try to fix it for right, because this needs to be times 2 for the right collision. So that should be off now. Nope, still collides. Oh, it should be minus a buffer. No. We're setting our x to be the x of our collided thing minus our player width. It should be just that. Minus our player width plus 2. Oh god. Yo, peace out, dude. Alright. I don't think I like that. He gets a little ahead of himself. Let's try +1. It is +1. Yeah. So why does it think we're colliding? Well, if we don't +1 and then look if we're colliding, we don't collide. So it's that when we push 1, this is jacked up, dude. Cause yeah, pushing pushing it +1. You know, I think we need to change. I don't know. If we do the +1, then it's correct in the sense that when we push it, our hands go 1 pixel into it. See that? Like our hands go 1 pixel into it. But if we wow. Okay, yeah. So we are technically colliding, so we might need to make a whole nother collision just for pushable objects, because we don't want this to trigger a collision, because it thinks we're colliding on a right collision right here, and that's because our sprite literally has a 1 pixel in front of himself right here. So if you draw our X width and height, we're colliding with this boulder. And we can't change the collision function without screwing up how it's working here. So what's the difference here in a pushable? Because here, we're not colliding with the tree. We're 1 pixel away. And you know what? We technically would be colliding with the tree. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, like our player's rectangle box is technically colliding with the tree because our nose is actually 1 sprite away from the end. So we are technically colliding with the tree here. And we screwed up our left collision. Okay, let's change our entity left collides back to a minus or a +1. Yeah, back to a +1 on left collide. And we'll change this back to, yeah, back to, right would be back to a -3. Left would be +1. The signpost looks weird because it's not actually flush with the top of the tile, so that collision is actually right. So how do we fix this? It thinks it's fine. Like, it detects a collision, therefore it moves us back to where we weren't colliding. Well, ay, ay, ay. I think we need a collides with a pushable object method. It's not a huge deal. I mean, it's just wrong. It definitely screws up our rendering for our tunics above and to the sides, so we kind of have to do something about it. I'm not going to figure it out tonight, so I will just look at what we've done, make a commit, and call it a night. We did fix 2 bugs with our pushables. We fixed unauthorized pushing and a limit pushing on the scene, so we can commit that at least and say that we limited pushing to inbounds and check inputs for push direction alignment. Okay, I think we'll call it there. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll hopefully get some more stuff done. I don't know what I'm gonna do about this because it's really jacked up and it's hard to understand. So I'll try to do some thinking and think why it works okay on the map objects but doesn't work on the pushable objects. So we'll try to figure that out tomorrow. And I'm trying to raid. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good night.